Hello everyone, I am Dr. Garima Gupta, Assistant Professor at Sri Ram Sarup University, Lucknow. Today we are going to deal with gametogenesis. We have already talked about the introduction and history of developmental biology. Gametogenesis is the process in which the formation of gametes takes place. Now, an individual can be classified as female or male on the basis of sex determination. Sex determination can be done by two methods. First is primary sex determination, in which the determination is done on the basis of gonads. If it is ovary forming the eggs, it's a female. If it is testis forming the sperms, it's a male. Then the next one is secondary sex determination, which is on the basis of phenotype of an individual on the basis of hormone production. Whatever hormones they are producing, it's creating a certain kind of phenotypes on the basis of which the sex of a particular individual can be determined. Now humans have bipotential gonads or indifferent gonads. So initially the gonads can be converted into any, either male or female, but due to some common precursors it get differentiated into male and female gonads. So, out of X and Y chromosome, Y is having a testis determining factor. So, it leads to the formation of a gonad into testis. So, if a person is having Y chromosome, X and Y is present in male. So, if it is having a Y chromosome, it has a testis determining factor. So, that person would become a male. And if it is XX, so that sex determining or testis determining factor won't be present there, so it will become a female. Male gametes are small, motile, and they are called as spermatozoa, while female gametes are large and immotile. They are called as egg or ova. Each gamete is haploid in nature, but when it gets fertilized, it forms zygote, which is diploid and contains the chromosomal copy of both the parents. Gametes are formed from the germ cells of embryo. These, if get deposited in ovaries, becomes egg, and if in testes, then becomes sperms. So whatever defect, if occurring in germ cells, it will be passed to the next generation, while this doesn't occur in case of somatic cells. In some cells, spermatozoa and ova are produced from the single individual, and they are called as hermaphrodite or monoecious or bisexual, while those which produce different cells from different organism, like female produces female gamete and male produces male gamete, that would be called as dioecious or unisexual. This type of separation is called as gonochorism. Now, the origination of PGCs, primordial germ cells. Primordial germ cells are responsible for the formation of sperm and ova or the gametes. So these PGCs are initial cells of early embryo. They migrate from new site to produce sperm and ova. Actually, they are extragonadal in origin in mammals. They originate from endodermal epithelium of yolk sac, which is present near the allantoic stalk. So, after its migration, they reaches to the germinal epithelium or germinal ridges and get deposited there, and finally migrate to the gonads. After migration, they get saved for the next generation. Now, during migration, the transcription and translation of these germ cells get stopped. There are certain proteins which are responsible for the suppression of expression of germ cells like Vasa, nanos, Tudor, etc. Now, what happens while reaching to the gonads? They get surrounded by the cell secreting stem cell factors, which are important for PGC's motility, persistence, division, and survival. After reaching the gonad decides the formation of sperm and or egg on the basis of timing of meiosis. In case of females, meiosis occurs in the embryonic gonads, while in male it occurs at puberty, and it also depends on the sex determining region of Y chromosome, called as SRY region. Now, gametogenesis can be divided into two parts. As gametogenesis is the formation of gametes, so the formation of male gamete is called as spermatogenesis, while the formation of female gamete is called as oogenesis. In case of spermatogenesis, it starts at the puberty stage. When a male reaches to the puberty at around 12 to 14 years, then the process of spermatogenesis starts. While in case of female, it starts from the female embryo only, and it starts from 2 to 7 months of pregnancy or the gestation of female embryo, and then when it reaches to the puberty, it again starts the process of oogenesis. Till the puberty, the process of oogenesis get arrested, and later on reaching puberty, it again starts or get resumed, while in case of male, it starts from puberty only. Now, what happens? First of all, the hypothalamus gland secretes gonadotropins, which activates the pituitary gland. Now, this pituitary gland secretes two hormones, that is, follicle stimulating hormone (FSH), which activates the Sertoli cells, and the luteinizing hormone, which activates the Leydig or the interstitial cells. Actually, these two cells are present in the seminiferous tubule, and seminiferous tubule is the site of spermatogenesis. Interstitial cells or the Leydig cells are endocrine in nature, and they secrete androgens or the testosterone, which initiates the spermatogenesis, and it also regulates the hypothalamus by negative feedback mechanism. So when the production of testosterone get increased or get in excess, then it stops the production or the of hormone by regulating hypothalamus. So in this way, the hormones are involved in starting the spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is formed in the seminiferous tubules, which are present in the testes. These seminiferous tubules are enclosed by the connective tissue, and they are separated from each other by the interstitial cells or the Leydig cells. So, the seminiferous tubules are mainly made up of germinal and somatic cells. Germinal tissue of seminiferous tubules forms the spermatozoa through the process of spermatogenesis, while the somatic cells are responsible for the formation of Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells are tall and columnar. They hold spermatogonia in between and also provide nourishment. Spermatogonia remain at the bottom of Sertoli cells, and when they reaches to the further stages of development or they progress into different cells, other cells, then it moves towards the higher position. So, mature spermatozoa are present at the tip of Sertoli cells. As they keep on maturing, it moves from the outer wall of the seminiferous tubule to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So, the main site of spermatogenesis is the outer wall of seminiferous tubule. They are released to epididymis for further maturation process of sperm. Now, the process of spermatogenesis can be divided into three major phases. The first one is proliferative phase, in which the spermatogonia increases their number by the process of mitotic division or by mitosis. Then the second one is meiotic phase, in which it goes under meiosis and reaches to the haploid state. The further stages or the last stage is post-meiotic phase. It is also called as shaping phase or spermiogenesis, in which the spermatids get converted into sperms. In this, basically, the shape up of spermatids takes place, because spermatids are oval structure and sperms are quite protruded structures or spherical in nature. So, the proper shaping of sperm takes place in the last phase. Now, spermatozoa are formed from the male primordial germ cells called as spermatogonia, and these PGCs are present in the germinal epithelium seminiferous tubules. So, at puberty, what happens? These spermatogonia start converting into different other kind of spermatogonia. Till puberty, it remains dormant, and when the interstitial cells of testes start producing testosterone hormone, the process of spermatogenesis begins. Now, the spermatogonia undergoes mitotic division and forms three types of spermatogonia. The first one is type A, dark spermatogonia. These are the reserve cells or the stem cells which divide mitotically to form type A, pale spermatogonia. So, the type A pale spermatogonia further divide mitotically and forms type B spermatogonia as well as type A spermatogonia to maintain the numbers of stem cells or the type A spermatogonia that can be used in the future for forming the type B spermatogonia. And this is promoted by glial cell 9 derived by neurotrophic factors, that is GDNF. And these cells which are stored for the future purpose, that is type A spermatogonia, are stored in stem cell niche, which is made up of Sertoli cells, Leydig or interstitial cells, and testicular blood vessels. So, these type A cells can be used in future for the formation of type B spermatogonia, and these sperms remains throughout the life of a male. The spermatogonia are not divided into different cells, but they all forms a clump-like structure, or they are joined by cytoplasmic bridges. So their cytoplasm can be shifted or transferred from one spermatogonia to another, and these cytoplasmic bridges get broken on the formation of spermatids only. Till the formation of spermatids, the structure of cell remains linked with cytoplasmic bridges. So now, after the formation of type A spermatogonia, it will form type B spermatogonia. So till now we have discussed about the introductory part of gametogenesis and the introduction of spermatogenesis, that how the process of spermatogenesis begins. Now in the next lecture we will see the whole process of spermatogenesis starting from type B spermatogonia and till the formation of complete sperm. Thank you so much for your patience.